magnetic field line. It is also called magnetic lines of force, and also it can be called flex lines. Okay. These magnetic field lines are used for representing a magnetic field. A magnetic field is a region surrounding a magnet where we can feel the force of attraction or repulsion of the magnet, or we can feel the effect of the magnet. And this region is actually invisible. So for practical purpose, we can picturize the magnetic field by using magnetic field lines or magnetic lines of force. They originate from North Pole. So magnetic lines of force or field lines are their imaginary curves. They are imaginary curves originating from North Pole and terminating to the South Pole outside the magnet. And inside the magnet, they are moving from south to north. So they are closed curve. Okay, it is continuous closed curve starting from north outside and ending to south, and inside the magnet from south to north. And this is the pattern of field lines for a bar magnet. If you draw the magnetic field lines of bar magnet by using a compass needle, as I explained in the previous class, you will get this pattern. And also we can see the same pattern by using iron filings and a bar magnet experiment. We can do a small activity by using a bar magnet and iron filings, and we will see the iron filings aligning in the same direction, same pattern like this. All of you see the experiment. Here there is a bar magnet, and above that bar magnet a plastic lid is placed. Okay, below that magnet is there. Now we will add some iron filings on this surface above the lid, and we can see how the iron filings are arranged. This is iron filings, iron powder. See, the iron filings are arranged in the just like the magnetic field lines, isn't it? You can see some observations here. More number of iron filings are concentrated at the north and south, both the poles, here and here, isn't it? The iron filings are concentrated maximum at the north and south, and you see the middle region, this region, less number of filings are there, and they are aligned almost in the direction of field lines. At these 2 points, magnetic field strength is maximum. Where there is more strength, more iron filings will be gathered. Okay. Now next heading, all of you write down the next heading, characteristics of magnetic field lines. The first property already we have written, that is the magnetic field lines, they originate from North Pole, start from North Pole and end to South Pole, terminate to South Pole outside the magnet. And inside the magnet, they move from south to north. Okay, we can draw here also from south to north, field lines will be moving inside the magnet. Inside the magnet also we can continue this curve like this, south to north. But normally we draw only outside only. It is existing inside the magnet also. Okay. So outside it is moving from north to south, and inside it is moving from south to north. This arrow is the direction. From south to north is the direction inside the magnet. See, the other characteristics of field lines are, by using the magnetic field lines, we can get the direction and also we can get the relative strength of magnetic field. See how to get the direction of magnetic field from the magnetic field lines. Suppose you want to get the direction of magnetic field. At this point, if you want to get the direction of magnetic field, what you have to do? Draw a tangent at this point. Draw a tangent to the field line, the curve at this point, and this tangent will give the direction of magnetic field at this point. This tangent will give the direction of magnetic field at this point. Now, if you want to find out the direction of magnetic field here, draw a tangent here. This will be the direction of magnetic field at this point. It means if you keep a free north pole, that will be moving in this direction. Yesterday I told you the direction of magnetic field is a vector quantity. Its direction is given by the direction of motion of a free north pole. Or if you keep a compass needle here, in what direction the north pole of the compass needle points, that will be the direction of magnetic field. So if you are keeping a compass needle here, the red tip of the compass needle means that is a north pole, will be aligned in this direction because magnetic field direction is this one. If you are keeping a compass needle here, the magnetic needle will be, the compass needle will be directed in this way, means the north pole of the compass needle will be in this direction because this is the direction of magnetic field. Now if you want to get the direction of magnetic field here, draw a tangent at this point. This is the direction of magnetic field at this point. Or here, this is the direction of magnetic field. Means at every point, direction of magnetic field is different. It is keep on changing. Got the point? Now the third one is this one. Listen here. Suppose I am taking a unit area. Imagine this is a unit area. 1 centimeter length and 1 centimeter breadth. Okay. Now how many lines of force or how many magnetic field lines are passing through this? So 2 lines are passing through this. The same unit area if I keep here, how many lines are passing through this one right now? Okay, 5 are passing. It means what? In this region, field is stronger. If more field lines are closely packed, that means field will be stronger. That is why in the previous experiment, you have seen at the north and south pole, there are more iron filings gathered, isn't it? So more iron filings are attracted towards north and south pole because north and south attraction is more. That is why here lines of force or field lines are more closely packed. Now if you take another area, suppose here normally we can see magnet will be very weak because only 2 field lines are there. So the third characteristic is that, the third property is that if magnetic field is strong, field lines will be closely packed. If magnetic field is weak, there will be more separation between the field lines. Now the 2 magnetic field lines can never intersect each other. Means I cannot draw field lines like this. Suppose I am drawing a field line, this one, and another field line like this one. Here they are intersecting each other. This is practically impossible. 2 magnetic field lines can never intersect like this. The reason is that if 2 field lines are intersecting like this, at the point of intersection, I can draw 2 tangents. One tangent for this curve and one tangent for this curve. 2 tangents are possible. And already we stated that the tangent at a point will give the direction of magnetic field at that point. So 2 tangent at a point means 2 direction for magnetic field at a point. For a vector at a given point, more than one direction is impossible. A vector can have only one direction at one point. Suppose this is one boy, okay, another boy is standing here, is catching, holding his hand and pulling in this direction, and another boy is standing here, okay, holding on his other hand and pulling in this direction. They are applying force in these 2 directions. Force is a vector. So can this middle boy move on either direction simultaneously towards right and left simultaneously?
No.
No. He will move only in one direction. Who is applying more force? Who is more stronger? If Abdullah is more strong, then the resultant direction will be towards the direction of Abdullah.
Yes.
Correct? So always if 2 or more vectors are acting at one point, the resultant direction will be towards the stronger vector, which is the stronger force. In that direction will be the resultant one. Simultaneously, this boy cannot move towards right and left. Only one direction is at a time possible. Okay? This is true for all vectors, not only for force vector. For all vectors, at a point, it can have only resultant one direction. 2 directions is practically impossible. So if you take the case of magnetic field, it is a vector quantity. Magnetic field is a vector quantity, and at one point if 2 magnetic field lines are intersecting, this type of magnetic field lines are intersecting here, if 2 field lines are intersecting like this, then at this point of intersection there are 2 tangents. 2 tangents means 2 directions for magnetic field. So if you keep a compass needle here, it will get confused whether it should align north pole this way or this way. but practically it won't happen because two direction for a vector at a point is impossible. So two magnetic field lines can never intersect each other. That is the fifth property. Now the last property is this one. We can have uniform magnetic field. Now right now in this surrounding this bar magnet, you can see a magnetic field that is not uniform, that is non-uniform. It is non-uniform because direction is different. At different point, direction of magnetic field is different. Here direction is this way, here is this way. So direction of magnetic field is different every point. And if you take the strength of magnetic field also, in this region more closely packed, it is stronger field. Here less number of field lines means weak field. It means the strength of magnetic field is not same everywhere. So surrounding a bar magnet, the magnetic field is non-uniform. If it is uniform magnetic field, the field lines you can draw like this. They are parallel lines with equal spacing, equal gaps in between the lines. So if it is a uniform magnetic field, a uniform magnetic field can be represented by parallel lines like this. So if it is a uniform magnetic field, two conditions should be satisfied. The two conditions are: the strength of magnetic field should be same everywhere. That is why same gaps. And direction of magnetic field also should be same everywhere. All are in this direction. If you draw tangent at any point for a straight line, it will be the same direction of this arrow mark. So direction is same everywhere throughout the field, and the gap also same. So magnetic field strength is constant, same, direction also same. So this can be considered as a uniform magnetic field.
Yes, sir.
Listen all of you. The next topic is relation between magnetism and electricity and Oersted's experiment. In the beginning, it was believed that this electricity and magnetism are two different phenomena. Okay? But accidental discovery. Oersted was demonstrating a simple experiment to his students in a lab. The experiment was very simple. By using a torch bulb, a simple electric circuit with a cell, and just lighting the bulb by using that cell in a small electrical circuit. During those days, electricity was discovered only from cell, chemical energy converted into electrical energy. The principle of generator was not discovered. And Oersted was demonstrating a simple experiment of how to light a bulb by using a battery or a cell. And while doing that experiment, nearby the experimental setup, there was a compass needle. A magnetic needle was placed nearby that. And what he could see while doing the experiment, when he was doing the experiment, whenever he switched on the circuit, he could see the magnetic needle, compass needle nearby it vibrating, deflecting. So it was a surprise for him. There is no contact, only a needle is placed nearby a copper wire, and whenever we switch on the circuit, the needle is showing some deflection, some vibration. When the direction of current was reversed, deflection also reversed. This was the historic experiment conducted by Oersted. From that experiment, we came to know that there is a close relation between electricity and magnetism. Okay? Now all of you observe that experiment. I will show you the experiment. Okay, this is the experiment conducted by Oersted. In this experiment, it's very simple. So here there is a cell, okay, a battery, two cells are there. So it is a battery and a compass needle. This is a compass needle and only a copper wire. This copper wire is placed above the compass needle. A compass needle, actually it is a tiny magnet. A compass needle is a tiny magnet. It is pivoted here, means it is free to rotate. Without friction, it can rotate freely. And one end will be north pole, other end will be south pole. So a compass needle is a tiny magnet, sharpened at both ends. One end will be north pole, other end will be south pole. In an undisturbed position, it will always show north-south direction of that place. That's why compass needles are used for finding the direction. Okay. Now this compass needle, above this compass needle, there is a wire, copper wire is here, and when we pass current through here, right now it is open, you can see there is no connection given. When we are touching here by using the other end of the wire, when a current passes through this wire, you can see there is a deflection, and if we change the direction of current, deflection also will reverse. See the experiment. You can see here when it is touching at this point, when the wire is touching here, you can see the deflection. Got it? With a single cell itself, we can see a large deflection. So very simple experiment. It was an accidental discovery by Easted. When current passes through the copper wire, there is a deflection in this needle. When a current is passing, means when we are touching here, a current is passing through the copper wire, that time the compass needle is deflecting, the magnetic needle is deflecting. What is the reason for that? If you see here this copper wire, I have a copper wire in my hand and a magnet, no attraction, there is no force is there. But if I pass a current through this one, then magnetic needle will be attracted, it will deflect. What can be the reason? I will give you a hint for this experiment. That is, a magnet can be deflected only by another magnet, or a magnet can be attracted only by another magnet. Very good, that is the reason. When a current passes through the copper wire, in the surrounding of that copper wire, it is developing a magnetic field. Got it? And that magnetic field will have a north and south pole that will interact with this magnetic needle, so it deflects. So in this accidental discovery of Easted, he proved that when a current passes through a wire, it will develop a magnetic field in its surrounding. It will produce a magnetic field in its surrounding, and that magnetic field will have a north and south. That magnetic field will have a north and south. How to get the direction of that magnetic field? How the field lines will be moving? Suppose this pen is the conductor, for example. Suppose the current is flowing upward. And in what direction the field lines will be surrounding this conductor? That is given by right hand thumb rule. According to right hand thumb rule, if you hold the conductor in your right hand with the thumb pointing in the direction of current, then the fingers encircling the conductor will give the direction of magnetic field lines. Means in this wire, the copper wire given here, suppose I have a copper wire, I am connecting positive of the cell at this bottom, negative at the top. So current will be passing from positive to negative. Means positive to negative means the upward direction. If the current is passing in this copper wire in the upward direction, I should hold this wire in my right hand in such a way that the thumb is in the direction of current. Then my fingers will represent the magnetic field lines. It will be concentric circles surrounding this conductor. So in this experiment, Easted proved that there is a strong relation between electric field or electricity and magnetism. This green one is a conductor, a copper wire, okay? And the direction of arrow, the direction of current is given by this one. This arrow is the direction of current. When current flows through this one, you can see it is forming concentric circles. These are the field lines, magnetic field lines created because of the flow of current. Means whenever a current flows, it will produce a magnetic field in its surrounding. If you are holding this conductor with your thumb in this direction, if your thumb is in this direction, then your fingers will be encircling this way. So your fingers will give the direction of magnetic field in this way. When I change the direction of current, the direction of field also is changing, correct?
Yes.
Can you observe that? Now the field is opposite direction. Now the field is moving this way. Current is downward. So you have to hold the conductor right now with your thumb in the downward direction. If your thumb is in the downward direction, your fingers will be moving. Now the field lines are going this way. Okay? The direction of magnetic field lines surrounding a straight conductor can be obtained from right hand thumb rule. Now one more observation you can see here. Suppose I am increasing the current. Again I am changing the current direction to upward direction. current in the upward direction, so the magnetic field. Now the current is in the upward direction, magnetic field is now just opposite. Now what I am doing here, I will increase the current now, the amount of current, the ampere, the current passing through this green wire, the copper wire. If I increase, you can see when I increase the current, what is the difference?
Field lines are increasing.
Field lines are increasing.
Yeah, field lines are increasing. Field lines increasing means what? More strength, isn't it?
Yes.
So if more current is passing, more field lines are there, more strength is there. And also the distance also. If you go this way, when you move this direction, okay, field strength also, you can see it is 3 dimensional. This is the actual, okay, this is the diagram. The field lines are in the horizontal plane. Conductor, current is flowing in the upward direction, field lines are like this. So you can see at any angle, means when the current is flowing upward, the field lines are in the horizontal plane with the concentric circles like this, concentric circles. And the wire is at the center of the circle. These are the field lines produced by the straight conductor carrying current.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Easted's experiment, he proved the relation between magnetism and electricity. How he proved that? When a current is passed through a wire, a nearby compass needle deflected. It means when a current is passing through a copper wire, it is producing a magnetic field. The magnetic field of the copper wire will interact with the magnetic field of the compass needle. Because of that, there will be a force of attraction or repulsion, and due to that, the magnetic needle will deflect. Now, if you change the direction of current, magnetic field in the surrounding of the wire also will change. Direction of magnetic field also will change. So the deflection of compass needle also will change. And the direction of magnetic field produced surrounding a straight conductor carrying a current is obtained by right hand thumb rule. In right hand thumb rule, you have to hold the current carrying conductor in your right hand with the thumb showing the direction of current flow. Then the fingers will show the direction of magnetic field lines. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.